Alright everybody, you have to forgive the background. We're doing a little bit of test setup for our new podcasting system, and we're going to see how this goes. I am going to show you, brought to you by Stop Bad Government in Charlotte County, one of our fellow members of the Republican clubs, well really the Liberty Caucus, put this together, and this shows exactly how our county thinks about its citizens. We have a big fight ahead of us in 24. We're going to have to end up getting rid of these guys. And we pay special attention in this one here to DeSeo, the way he's acting. We have a family that was horribly mistreated. They were trying to survive, and they were doing a pretty good job of it. They weren't asking nobody for nothing. They were just simply trying to make their way after the hurricane. They started out in Lee County out by Matlacha and ended up over here in Charlotte County on a piece of land that was donated to them by the church. It's in relation, I mean, to some of the projects that the commissioners are commissioning, and we'll show you this and let you guys make your own opinion on it, but we are pretty much in a consensus, I think, throughout the local Republican people here in the county that this is not an acceptable thing. So we'll go ahead and let you guys take and make your own opinion on this and check it out.
Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants.
You're the only thing saving me from not being totally homeless with 5 children. You're the only person that can stop that.
No, I can't.
Yes, sir, you can.
You understand that I don't have complete authority on this. If the county disagrees with my decision on this, they can appeal. They can appeal my own
They
decision.
should be sitting here right now then.
It's not, the commission does not sit as a code compliance officer. We have a special magistrate that acts as essentially a judge. That would go,
Sir, you're out of order. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if you can't come under control.
And the other thing I'd like to ask y'all is you took the bus, you took the tractor and trailer, and you put it in impound, but you took the boat that I fed my family with for 15 years. I'm talking about every Christmas, every Easter, every birthday party, every clothes they ever put on them, I paid for with that boat as a commercial fisherman. Why didn't y'all put it on a trailer and put it in the impound? The trailer was sitting next to it. You smashed it up and threw it in the dumpster with the trailer on top of it.
As you can see, just like everything else, they take it upon themselves to basically run over you and tell you what you can and can't do, and they're shut up, sit down, while we violate every right you have. So that's what they do. This thing with them talking and nobody else getting to talk back is kind of a problem. So we're going to keep going through this video and see how this progresses. I think you're going to be quite surprised at how this all ends up. So keep an eye. Here we go. And it's funny how they illegally squat on property they already own. And pay special attention to the strike force.
The code compliance isn't there to fine you and put you in jail.
The code compliance isn't there to fine you and put you in jail. The code compliance isn't there to fine you and put you in jail.
When you guys chose to destroy our stuff, I was standing there. I watched it as you guys arrested my husband. Not you, but the Charlotte County Sheriff's arrested my husband. I watched my boat get destroyed, that our business for 15 years that we had. My child's walker get destroyed. My child's other wheelchair that we had get destroyed. Where's our human rights?
Sir, morning. Nice to finally meet y'all in person. I've met y'all on paper.
Please state your name for the record.
Gary Michael Shallow.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I would like to add to this that I didn't notice that you guys mentioned any IDP in there. IDP, is, in case you didn't know, is internally displaced people. You're not addressing internally displaced people in none of these bills. Any decision that's made, in the effect of a natural disaster should be made in the with the focus of human rights. Okay, basic human rights. So it's all about paper and not about human beings. Okay, which is how we got in the position we're in. Okay, and the only other thing I have to ask you is please return our items. We need the paperwork inside there to finish filling out our emergency paperwork. I have I have the remains of 3 family members in there. I came here on the 2nd and I told you what was going on.
The remains of 3 family members in their bus. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Let's continue.
You knew our situation, and instead of treating us like human beings, you guys treated us like a statue instead. And in case so that doesn't happen to nobody else, I recommend that you guys look into what IDPs are and also the operational guidelines for human rights in natural disasters, which is exactly what they're using in Israel right now to get the people out of the Gaza Strip. Even they get that in other countries. So anyhow, while I went home to eat lunch, I did watch the August 2nd magistrate hearing, and I'd also like to recommend you guys look at it too, because there was promises made to us there that weren't kept by Charlotte County. Okay?
Won't move quickly, don't worry.
Most other people would have been fined before all their stuff was trashed and thrown into a dumpster. And the other thing I'd like to ask y'all is you took the bus, you took the tractor and trailer, and you put it in impound. But you took the boat that I fed my family with for 15 years. I'm talking about every Christmas, every Easter, every birthday party, every clothes they ever put on them, I paid for with that boat as a commercial fisherman. Why didn't y'all put it on a trailer and put it in the impound? The trailer was sitting next to it. You smashed it up and threw it in the dumpster with the trailer on top of it. I don't believe that you guys respected our human rights when you came out there, especially in the wake of a natural disaster. Okay, you arrested me. Now, I'm sure it was a loaded question that y'all got to ask everybody because you can't just make them leave their property. But you can ask Miss Pavel out there. She's outside. She's the arresting officer. Ask her. Okay? She asked me, Gary, are you going to give these guys trouble while they take the rest of your belongings out of here? The rest of the stuff we had left over from the hurricane we drug out there. Everything we had. She said, are you going to give these gentlemen trouble while they remove it? And I said, ma'am, I'm not going to stand here and just let them do it. And I don't know any man in this country that would not fight for their family's belongings like that. And you take me down there and arrest me at Charlotte County Jail, where across the street there's 300 FEMA trailers doing nothing. And none of you said anything to anybody. You did all that plan.
300 FEMA trailers doing nothing. Nothing. And they're going to end up probably putting those things on the auction block. It's just unreal. It's unreal what they're doing. And the only way to stop these people from doing the things that they're doing is to go after them. Come election time 2024, we have 3 of these guys coming up. And the only way to get to do anything is go to the polls, vote, and we can make a change. But until then, this out of control growth and all this stuff that's going on in this county is going to continue, until we've suffered enough. Keep suffering. That's all we do. When we're fucking tired of suffering, we'll do something about it. And here we go.
To have that abatement team out there, it was over 100 people. It took a lot of planning. You didn't take 5 minutes about us being homeless and take care of it. And when Red Cross got there, they was like, oh, I know these people. They were from Pine Island. When we were out on Pine Island raising our boat, it was the same Red Cross guy. And guess what? He told us the same thing in Charlotte County as he told us in Lee County. There was no programs to help anybody who was renters. That's why when you have FEMA trailers sitting over there doing nothing, and you have
There
all the
goes
other
your
things,
time.
that's why people have to
Time
live
for
on
you
their
to go.
own land and wait for FEMA to sort it out. And you guys should be more receptive of people's human rights, because you violated everybody sitting here. That's what you did. Disabled American. American with Disabilities Act. Did y'all look into that before you made us homeless?
No, your time's expired.
I'm Casey Sherlock. Why didn't anybody actually think about his rights? We would like our bus put back on our property that has human remains in it, has our kids' social security cards in it, has my social security card, his social security card, has all our documents in it.
The remaining programs that are offered through Human Services are based on residency, and at this point, that was not an available option to them.
We have one of the most robust human services department in the state of Florida.
Of which he was a board member on, and a commissioner. Just like everything else in this county. They appoint themselves to everything.
There was no programs to help anybody who was renters.
Yeah, I wanted to address Mr. Shallow's concerns, and I think I really want the public to understand the process that we went through, because there's a lot of information out there in the public domain that I want to make sure it's as accurate as possible. This goes back to March and April, earlier in the year, when this whole Tropical Acres Task Force first came to be.
But that has nothing to do with the board. So I'm just saying, what we're talking
It
about
does
here
have
is...
something to do with the board, because you guys set up a task force to go out and start looking at these properties and going after
We don't have
every
a
property.
task force. We have code compliance, the same code compliance that you had as the Cumru County Commissioner. You vote...
This goes back to March and April, earlier in the year, when this whole Tropical Acres Task Force first came to be.
They actually have what you'll see here after a bit. It's referred to as a strike team.
So we have a code compliance process here to address those things. And it's not, the commission does not sit as a code compliance officer. We have a special magistrate that acts as essentially a judge.
Dude, you're the only thing saving me from not being totally homeless with 5 children. You're the only person that can stop that.
No, I can't.
Yes, sir, you can.
You understand that I don't have complete authority on this. If the county disagrees with my decision on this, they can
should be
appeal.
here.
They can appeal my own
They
decision.
should be sitting here right now then.
again, another one of these pass the buck situations. That's all they do. They pass the buck. And our code enforcement has increased exponentially. And there we go, we got the strike force, which they'll be talking about here soon enough.
There was notification. We offered assistance and resources.
Before that public hearing, he was given four months' notice to clean the property up, or there would be the special magistrate hearing. The magistrate gave everybody else 5 days to come into compliance, and he got 30 days.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Or we were given the opportunity to abate the property.
We were given the opportunity to abate the property.
Given the opportunity to abate the property.
Just another fine word for take your property, kick you off your property any way they possibly can. And let's continue.
Which we did 60 days later. So from start to finish, the Shallows had over 6 months.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
To clean up the property or to appeal the special magistrate's decision, and he did neither. We do not have his possessions, so you can't return them. They're in the hands of prompt towing and wherever they store their items.
Prompt towing has a contract with the county. If the county wanted the stuff out of the prompt towing's tow yard, it could be taken out of there. All they have to do is tell them that's what they want. But they're not going to do that. Just not going to do it. And here we go. Let's continue.
Then there was a claim that we are negligent of Mr. Shallow and his family's human rights. And I've got to tell you, that one hurts the most.
Oh, painful. It's alright when you're twice disconnected from what you're doing.
We have one of the most robust human services department in the state of Florida.
There was no programs to help anybody who was renters. There was no programs to help anybody who was renters.
I'd like to have our Human Services Department, just report out what resources were made available.
Sir,
Sir.
please, this is not time for that, okay?
And sit down and shut up.
So in terms of the resources that were offered, there's a couple of routes that I can describe here to you. So on the strike team, a member of the Human Services team was on the strike team. The remaining programs that are offered through Human Services are based on residency, and at this point, that was not an available option to them. And apparently then that wasn't what was selected or chosen. They were
Sir, you're out of order. I'm sorry. You either come into compliance, or I will have to ask you.
Sit down and shut up.
Thank you.
There was no programs to help anybody who was renters.
The remaining programs that are offered through Human Services are based on residency, and at this point, that was not an available option to them because the children attend schools in Lee County, and because licenses and things like that, residency was claimed in Lee County.
But that's for some.
And here comes the cover-up. SAO is going to cover up for what she just said. Because if you remember right, they said earlier in the video that there was a robust system in place and that he qualified and he refused the services. And here comes the cover-up job by Teseo. Boy, I tell you, this never ends. It's better and better as we go. And here we go, we'll continue on.
Benefits.
Correct.
But we still had a whole host of other benefits.
Yes.
It didn't matter where his residency was.
Correct.
There was no programs to help anybody who was renters.
So I just wanted to get that out there to the folks who think that this board has been negligent of the needs of our community. We are not. In terms of the code compliance case, as I said earlier, our ability to regulate what the special magistrate does is beyond our control.
You're the only thing saving me from not being totally homeless
I
with 5 children. You're the only person that can stop that.
No, I can't. I
Yes,
don't
sir,
have-
you can.
You understand that I don't have complete authority on this. If the county disagrees with my decision on this,
In the box
they can
again.
appeal, they can appeal my own
They
decision.
should be sitting here right now then.
When the hurricane hit, we were one of the first counties, we allowed 2 years. You can put an RV or camper in front of your home if it was damaged. So
When Red Cross got there, they's like, oh, I know these people. They were from Pine Island. When we were out on Pine Island raising our boat, it was the same Red Cross guy. And guess what? He told us the same thing in Charlotte County as he told us in Lee County. There was no programs to help anybody who was renters. That's why when you have FEMA trailers sitting over there doing nothing, and you have all them other things, that's why people have to live on their own land and wait for FEMA to sort it out.
our code does not allow people to camp on vacant land, and that's what's going on here.
This is a pure misconstrued version of the camping on vacant land. There was a lot of people came into the county and found a piece of property, squatted on the piece of property that were renters and such things as that, but they squatted on property that did not belong to them. In this case, these people were on property that belonged to them. So there's a big contrasting difference between something that belongs to you and something that does not belong to you. And they have totally taken and weaponized this code against these people, and it's obscene. So here we go. We'll continue on. It's almost through. It's almost through.
There's no running water. There's no sanitary sewer except for a porta potty. There's no internal plumbing. There's no HVAC that I can see, and you've got a generator running, all hours of the night. And it sounds like, to be honest, the family's living in a shed. That's breaks my heart. That would go.
Sir, you're out of order. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if you can't come under control.
And again, and again, and again.
Okay, I appreciate you willing to do that, sir. Thank you so much for cooperating.
So, yeah. So we've offered the help to help. No. Continue. Yeah, thank you. So, I guess at the end of the day, if there's any flaws in our system, I'd like to know about it.
Power does what it wants. 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 Power.
And there you have it, guys. And these guys don't only control the code enforcement. They control what goes on in the building. They control what is called our Charter Review Committee. This Charter Review Committee stands in place of an actual constitution, and in all reality, it is stacked in their favor, just like everything else in this county. They have appointed boards for everything that they do. They appoint everything, and they are the legislative branch of this county. So, like I said, until we stand up and we go in there and we vote and we find people to take the places of these people, we're going to keep getting the same thing. Nothing's going to change. It's all going to remain the same. So, if you're tired of it, you're tired of seeing people treated like this, then get out to the polls. Get out and knock on doors. Get out and help us find candidates. Republican Assembly here in Charlotte County be more than happy to take any Republicans in, and we'll go to work. We'll make these changes, along with organizations like the Liberty Caucus and the Republican Executive Committee and all these other committees out here that are working. We're trying to keep you guys free. You could be next. You could be the next one on the chopping block here. All you have to do is be in the way of one of their projects, and they're going to find a way to get rid of you. So, come and visit us. Go look up the Republican Assembly Charlotte County. www.racc1776.com, or look up the Florida Republican Assembly, or find the local Liberty Caucus. Find somewhere, some way to get involved, because until you do, this is what we're going to keep getting right here.